Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Zan Von Schlegell, a senior at Saint Viator High School in Arlington Heights, Illinois, an infielder on the Lions varsity baseball team, recently committed to the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, and a member of the Pakistan national baseball team. Once again, Zan, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me today. Congrats again on your success, especially playing baseball.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's talk about playing for St. Viator High School, the baseball team, fellow teammates, coaching staff, head coach Michael Mano. Just again, a phenomenal 2022 season, going 35-3, breaking the school record for most number of wins, ranked number one in the state most of the season. Again, a special year. Just talk about what it meant to, play for St. Viator.
Yeah, for sure. We had a ton of talent this year, and we had 5 college baseball players, including me, 2 of which were Arizona commits, and they were pitchers. And Coach Mano and the rest of the St. Viator staff, really helped us and helped us relax when we played, and that was like really important for us. We had all the talent in the world, and he let us relax and play our game how we wanted to play it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about you personally. Nominated for the Conference Defensive Player of the Year, earned all conference honors, finished the season hitting .381 with 4 home runs, 41 RBIs, 12 doubles, batting in that number 3 spot. Just talk about what those accolades meant to you, said personally, Zan.
Yeah, they meant a lot to me. I worked really hard this offseason, and the coaching staff put me in the best spot possible. They had us working out, open gyms, in November. So, that really got us ready, to play a, full 38 game season, right from the get-go. And, I would like to say I was, ready for that season in February.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Hey, putting on that number 3 Lions jersey, I'm wondering what's that meant to you these first 3 years? I mean, you still have another year under your belt to go, but just up to this point, what is it? Again, every time you don that jersey, what is that? What does that signify to you, Zan?
Yeah, it means a lot. To represent St. Viator means a lot, especially at a second base shortstop position. We've had a lot of alums that have played, college baseball, and we've got one guy, playing in the NFL right now, Cole Komet, and to wear St. Viator across my chest is such an honor.
That's great. Okay, there's so much that goes into preparing for a baseball season, Zan. I had to ask you. I mean, we talk about strength and conditioning, nutrition. I mean, there's that rest and recovery. And the fact that I look at just look at the numbers and the fact that you're able to really dish out the power at the plate, and even with your strength, arm strength in the infield. Just talk about on an individual basis what you have done that is really again the numbers show it this season. Just talk about that part as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last 2 off seasons I really focused on strength and speed and being more mobile as a mover. And that's really helped me prepare for a really long season. Right after we finished high school ball, I'm not stopping playing until August right now. So really lifting in the weight room, not getting too bulky, but keeping your mobility is very important to me. And just getting after it for that 3-4 month span.
No, I agree. Definitely being flexible, durable, because especially injuries can pop up. But that's you make a great point there. Hey, there's so much been made of highlight videos, the technology, especially in terms of watching film, that you can go over, like again, what the positives, negatives, and sort of improve on your fundamentals and your skills. I'm just wondering how you've been able to tap into that and be able to utilize that to your advantage as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my mom and dad record all my at-bats, try to record as much, in-game work as they can. And, it's really helped me on the recruiting end. And then also like just, getting my name out there on Twitter, on social media. So,
Mhm.
people know who I am. And then, also like we live streamed all of our games this year for high school. And if a family member wasn't there or whatever,
Yeah.
they were able to tune in and watch us play, which I think is huge, especially in our world today.
Oh, I agree 100%. A true game changer. The fact that, again,
Yeah.
you're right, that if people are unable to attend games in person, they can, watch it on the laptop. It's just, yeah, it's really cool to see. Hey, you know, we're still in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm wondering, like these last couple of years, yeah, I'm sure it's been a real challenge not only for you, but the rest of the school as well at Saint Viator High School, and especially those seniors that lost out a lot of time a couple of years ago. Just wondering how
Yeah.
you've been able to cope with that, because I'm sure that presented, challenges itself, Zan.
Yeah, obviously our season was canceled in, 2020. We had a lot of talent that year. We had a shortstop slash right-hand pitcher is now at South Carolina right now. So, um, not only this season, but in terms of school being online, that's tough for, everybody. And I feel like, just putting your head down, working hard, preparing for opportunities that come ahead. This year, I put my head down and worked hard for 2 years, and I'm starting to see a little bit of success, and
Mhm.
I think that's super important. Just like controlling what you can control, and seeing what result comes.
Yeah, outstanding points he made. I'm wondering, in terms of when you're at the plate, your approach, when you're stepping to that batter's box and you're facing the opposing pitcher, what those moments are like, and then even when you're in the infield, because again, there's so much that
Yeah.
I talk about the preparation part. So what goes into it beforehand, and then of course in game for you also on both sides, Zan.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I'm a guy that, likes to hit a lot. I hit, every day. So hitting before a game is crucial, especially knowing my plan at the plate. What I need to focus on that day. If I'm, pulling off the ball, I want to make sure I'm staying to the right side of the field that day. Versus other days, maybe I'm like, well, wait. That it just depends on the day. In that sense, on the hitting side. And then in terms of defensively, I'm trying to make, every, routine play I can make. And if I can end up making, a big out for my team,
Mhm.
that's really important. Taking away hits is obviously something, I take pride in. And yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey, to be a part of a team that went 35-3, I mean, I know it's difficult not, losing a sectional championship, but the
Yeah.
fact that you guys were on such a roll this season, I mean, that just must have really provided a huge boost of energy, an adrenaline rush that every time you guys stepped out into that field, sure, from top to bottom, from, head coach Michael Mano, that, you guys were almost invincible. I mean, that I mean, it took talent, it took, effort, of course, to win ball games, but just talk about that, because not a lot of people a lot of players get to experience that. But what was that, for you this season, the 2022 year?
Yeah, it was a great experience. A lot of energy. Even the guys on the bench. We had 27 guys on the team this year. Obviously in baseball only 9 can play at a time, but every
Mhm.
single guy was ready to play, had a ton of energy, and the coaching staff was really energetic, and that really helped us. Every single game, every time we stepped on between the lines, we were
Mhm.
given our 110% every single time. So
Yeah.
just everybody around us really helped us, have a lot of success this season.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's awesome to see. Okay, let's talk about the support from the St. Viator High School student body, administration, athletic department. You have President Reverend Daniel Lyden and Athletic Director Jason Couple. Just talk about the support for the baseball team this year.
Yeah, they support us a ton. Got a lot of people at our games. They did a great job covering, all the baseball players and, the whole, baseball community. We had like, a day where, 3 alums, had the first pitch at our game. So, at Viator, our community is tremendous, and,
Mhm.
even alums coming back, that's really important to us. And Yeah, their saying is, when you're a line for life.
That's great. Hey, wanted to also get it out there. Of course, committed to the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah,
A huge achievement. I'm sure. I mean, just a good feel moment here in the last couple of days. Talk
yeah.
about what made University of St. Thomas the perfect fit and choice for you, Zan.
Yeah, so I had, 4 offers, and I felt like they were, their coaching staff, their school academically, was a great fit for me, and that made the decision, that much easier for me because it checked off all the boxes,
Hmm.
and I felt really comfortable in that type of setting because I did go to I go to Saint Viator, and going to St. Thomas, it's an easy transition to say the
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
So right fit, and it checked off all the boxes.
it's great. Okay, as you mentioned before, you've taken no time off here in the summer. Playing for Rake City, the travel baseball team, and then before that, played for Luke Collier. It said that just again to keep your skills fresh. Again, it's worked out very well for you in terms of like your numbers. Just talk about how much that has meant to you as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think continuing to lift and do speed training and keeping your arm strength is super important. Especially during the season. Obviously, injuries do happen, and
Hmm.
I need to control what I can control, and that's preventing and doing what I can. When I'm not playing, preparing myself for those games. Obviously, is a huge part of it, and yeah, it's a whole, it's a great ride, and
Yeah.
I'm, it was a lot of fun, but I'm glad I get some time off to prepare for the fall.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, I love that tidbit you provided about Luke Collier, playing the MLB for 8 years. His son got drafted a month ago, the 18th overall pick. I mean, that's got to provide a lot of inspiration, motivation. Just talk
Yeah,
about, I mean, how cool that is, to see that.
yeah, super cool. I've trained and played for Luke Collier since I was 8 years old, and um, I've known Cam since then, and to see it, all of his hard work paid off is super cool. And I thought it was great how Lou did this whole thing with his travel team, and developed a ton of guys. He's had a ton of guys in college, a ton of guys in the pros right now. He's a the best there is for sure.
Okay. This is the biggest moment, I think, of your life is that playing for the Pakistan national baseball team, preparing for the World Baseball Classic with the qualifiers in Panama City, Panama next month, in the Pool B. You got Panama, Nicaragua, Brazil, Argentina, New Zealand. Talk about what I mean this means to you personally and to your family here.
Yeah, it means a lot. My grandma's from Pakistan. She lived there all of her young years and immigrated here to the U.S. and to represent Pakistan across my chest obviously is super cool.
Yeah.
I've when you watch the Baseball Classic when you're a little kid, you want to do it, and it's great to have the opportunity. And all we can do right now is work really hard and get ready for that moment.
I mean, it's truly historic, but just to see the collection of talent, across the board here. Talk about if your interactions, with some of your teammates, and even as I said, administration staff, coaches. Just talk about, but specifically the teammates. I mean, I've interviewed a couple of them. Just a great group of guys. Just talk about that, Zan.
Yeah, I know Aman Khan.
Yeah,
We've connected through social media, and I think it's cool to have a teammate that's in the exact same situation you are, and being a high school guy,
yeah,
playing against grown men. But then also, we've got a ton of guys, throwing above 90 on the mound.
yeah.
Pitching and defense does win games, and to have guys that throw that hard and are that good on the bump is really important. And I think there's a guy from West Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
coming. So
Yeah.
I think that's that makes us a really good ball club, and we'll see what we can do in Panama.
Yeah, and it's a terrific experience to travel to another country and see the way baseball is played there. I'm sure for you guys, again, it's just going to be definitely. I mean, you're there, of course, to play baseball and to of course qualify for the World Baseball Classic, but just to be in that type of environment with all these other top tier teams. I'm sure that you guys are really going to be able to soak that in. Hey, I was wondering about the game of baseball. For you, you've been playing for a long time. What are some of the intangibles? What really makes it stand out compared to the other sports that you year after year you put in all the time? You have that dedication, you have that work ethic, that commitment. What is it for you, personally, Zan?
Yeah, growing up, I was, I still am kind of undersized. In games like football and basketball, you got to be pretty tall to say the least. And baseball, it doesn't really matter how tall you are or how big you are. The ball still has to go over the plate. You still have to hit it. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Having the opportunity to play a sport where size doesn't matter that much. Obviously, strength matters. I've developed my tools over the years, but that really stuck out to me. That's why I wanted to, play it, at the college level and hopefully at the, professional level.
That's great. So I'm wondering, when you were growing up, Zan, were there any other sports you played? And then when you really made that transition to baseball, or was it always baseball for you?
Yeah. So I did play basketball when I was younger. I played my freshman year. But when you're a freshman and you're 5'2", it's a little hard to play basketball. Yeah. So I think size was definitely a obstacle for me. I like to say I was okay. But I think baseball, just because of the size aspect of it, and when during basketball season I lose like 10 pounds. That's tough to keep on strength or to really make any significant gains in the off season like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Hey, I want to go back to your family because both of your parents are psychologists and working in public education. I find that really interesting. I didn't ask you before. We talk about the physical part of baseball, but it's also the mental, right, issue, because if you're not locked in and really keep your head on during the season or pretty much year round, you really can get lost and you can see quickly your play diminish. Just talk about that part. I'm sure that it's just, again, it's fascinating to see that.
Yeah. So me and my parents talk about visualization, which is a big part of baseball. I had like a walk-off single this past year in high school, and most guys would their heart would be like a hamster's heart. So before my bat, I knew the opportunity was coming. I was able to visualize what I wanted to do at the plate, and I think their help has helped tremendously in my development, obviously mentally and physically. So I thank them a ton.
That's great. I said from Downers Grove, Illinois. You talked about the community. Just talk about the Downers Grove, just growing up there. What the support from them as well, from the people.
Yeah, for sure. I moved to Downers when I was 4th grade. I have some buddies here, and I decided to go to Saint Viator High School. I got recruited there to play baseball. I've always, cherished the times I've, had, on Downers Grove, but at the same time, I did, pursue to play baseball at Saint Viator and have the opportunity to, play in a season like I did this past year.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Hey, just a couple more, Zan, before you get the final word. I'm wondering, when it comes to Major League Baseball, infielders specifically that you pay attention to, you really, zero in on and sort of maybe try to take away some of those tendencies, what they do either at the plate or the infield, and really try to maybe even apply to your game as well.
Yeah, growing up, I'm a Cubs fan, so I was a big Javier Baez guy. I do like Ozzy Albies. And then, a lot of guys, I would like to say freaks because they're just so athletic.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a guy that, is very fine tuned and, has really had to work his way to, I'm not saying that they didn't work their way, but a lot of it's God given.
Yeah.
But I would say, Javi Baez and Ozzy Albies are definitely one of those guys that, I look up to and, watch a lot of their game because, they do change, the outcome of the game, more than, a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's excellent point you made, is that it's just not even at the plate. It could be, of course, on the base paths. There are different ways again, to really, help a team win. Hey, I think you're in a perfect spot here. This is the final question before you get that final word. Is that for younger kids and athletes out there, the challenges. This is a difficult sport, to play, but even sports in general, trying to move up that ladder as a kid, what you would say to them if they're going to watch this interview, like, just trying to navigate those waters. It's tough. I mean, you got social media out there, you have a bunch of factors out there, but what would you say to the younger kids out there and athletes?
Yeah, I would say, you always got to, work hard. I think, a lot of times, like I said, there was guys I knew that, committed to Louisville or whatever when they were 8th grade, and I still didn't have my growth spurt. So I think focusing on your development where you're at is very important, and and not, I would say, care about what other people do, but care about your development where you're at, because eventually you keep on working hard, you'll eventually get to where you want to be.
Well said. Okay, Zan, you get the final word and message here for family, friends, classmates, teammates, coaches. Saint Viator High School, Rake City, Blue Collier. Of course, now with the University of St. Thomas coming up next year, and most importantly, the Pakistan national baseball team. The floor is yours, Zan.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate all you guys for, believing in me, and I appreciate all the support. Everybody's, giving me, to this point, and, yeah, that's about it.
Sounds good. And Zan, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. Thank you so much for the time. Congratulations again on your success, at Saint Viator High School on the baseball team, and with committing to the University of St. Thomas. And again, wishing you, all the best, again, at the World Baseball Classic qualifiers, Panama next month with the Pakistan national baseball team.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.